A paraphrase from Psalm 23, just so that you might hear it just a little bit differently. The Lord is my shepherd. I lack nothing. Though I walk through this present darkness, a banquet is spread before me. Such goodness and love pouring out all the days of my life. Maya Angelou, poet and civil rights activist who suffered deeply in her life, famously declared, "Life is a glorious banquet, a limitless and delicious buffet." In 8 words, she lets us see life through her lens. Today, what might you say of your life, our shared life, in 8 words? How curious it is that despite dark shadows, poet Maya has described for us a scene quite different from what our eyes might be capturing and what our hearers hear day in and day out. Knowing her life story as one filled with poverty, assault, discrimination, and the indignity of being seen as less, would we not expect her to spread before us the painful and sad? If life were a banquet, what entrees has she received that gift us this vision of something quite unlike a chaotic mess, but rather a sumptuous feast? Are we not moved, especially when we think of what she has endured? Life is a glorious banquet, a limitless and delicious banquet. She must be eating at a different table, seeing something quite different than what newscasters, sociologists, and economists point out for us to consume. Interestingly enough, Martin Luther himself encouraged us not to trust what we see. Martin Luther's words, Christ's mission and work is to help us against sin and death, to make right and bring life. He has placed his help in what we see as simple. To our eyes, baptism appears to be nothing more than ordinary water. And the sacrament, Christ's body and blood, appears as simple bread and wine, just like other bread and wine plated for consumption. The sermon is that which seems to be hot air emanating from a man's mouth, or in this case, mine. But we must not trust what our eyes see, Martin Luther says. End quote. Carl Jung's insights about life experience are worthy of pondering here. He said, "The greatest and most important problems of life are all, in a certain sense, insoluble. They can never be solved, but only outgrown. A new level of consciousness arose for the individual. Some higher or wider interest arose on the person's horizon, and through this widening of view, the insoluble problem lost its urgency. It was not solved logically in its own terms, but faded out when confronted with a new and stronger life tendency." End quote. Stronger life tendency? If we could only ask him what that might be. Something greater than the mess, the lurking shadow that elicits fear? What arose? Another good question I would put to Carl Jung. We suspect a power greater than ourselves to be at work, seen and unseen, and we more than suspect that this power works its way in love and faith in love, a greater love. To answer what we might think Carl Jung has left hanging in a philosophical or psychological mist, I have two quotes you might ponder and knit together in your own way. One deals with the loud no of our lives that pain evokes, and the other gives us context for an elevated experience. From Richard Rohr, Franciscan priest. God tries to create a joyous yes inside of you, far more than any kind of no. Just saying no is like resentful dieting, whereas finding your deeper yes and eating from that table is always a spiritual banquet. Another by Dorothy Day, journalist and activist, that opens an additional window. We cannot love God unless we love each other. And to love, we must know each other. We know Him in the breaking of bread, and we know each other in the breaking of bread, and we are not alone anymore. Heaven is a banquet, and life is a banquet too, even with the crust, where there is companionship. Does Christ hold out for you His body and blood, you who are named as blessed child of God? And before you take it, do you not hear Jesus' words reminding you, it is for you, this banquet, but not just for you? For He holds the cup and loaf out for all. And in His voice and with His rules of invitation, we are welcomed and invited. My real presence actualized in you, my sacrifice actualized and effectualized in you, my forgiveness and restoration, not only reconciling you, but sending you out to share with others this abundant banquet laid out. Yes, with real darkness lurking, but yes, with goodness enough for all in the valley to which we have been led. Amen.